can just put a picture right here, however we want to do it, or not at all, because it's kind of pretty, you know. You can also make flips out of these. You can add pictures and flip them in and out, and then they still fit the belly band, you know. And you just got to make sure that your belly band has a little give when you put it in. I got this one a little tight, but there's a way to work it. Yeah, I know, without ripping it up. And I have ripped them up too. So here is another pocket with some of that gorgeous, since it's my husband and I thought that would be really cute. And yeah, so I just added that as a pocket. I could round it, and you know, it's as easy as this, guys. Literally, you just get your rounder. Even if you've got it in, you can just, that's it. I mean, how easy is that? Don't make it hard. If you don't like the square corners, then round it. And even if you get it as a gift and you don't like the square, round it. Do what you want. And then this was leftover scraps last night. Two different, the trees are from Target, and then they were two different colors, and I thought, I like that. So this is about a tree, and then I put one of those little pine cones on there, inked it up. That became a journaling, spot. And then this is just bits and pieces. This is one of the trees from the pink paisley I put up on phone dot. That was in my stash because that reminds my mom. My mom loved hummingbirds, so I had to have that. And then, and I saved it just for this because she was alive the Christmas that we had a heavy snow down here, and she would sit and look out her window a lot in her bed because she couldn't get up, and because when she was in hospice at the very end of the nursing home, and so I wanted, Christmas was a big part of, you know, just the gorgeous snow. It was really hard for me to enjoy it. But what was even better was when I went and saw my mom the next day and I said, did you see all that snow? And she was like, well, I'm looking at it. And she was. I mean, what was left, you know, the next day. And because I wanted to get there early enough while it hadn't melted too much. And anyways, it was just a precious because she had spent some of her younger years in Colorado and Utah, and she had definitely been, you know, had seen snow. And anyways, which in Texas is, you think that's a weird statement, but growing up in South Texas, we never saw snow. We saw like ice and hail, and we thought, woohoo, snow. When you've lived in snow, you know the difference. So, and of course we have as well lived in snow. But so I just love that. And I want to find a picture of her from that. I think I have a picture of her looking out the window at the snow, and I want to put that there. And I'm going to try not to cry. Anyways, I'm just sleepy and tired, and I miss her. So I wanted that to be for her. And my husband loved my parents so much. They were so good to him. They were his parents. That's what it came out to be. They absolutely adored him, and they didn't use or abuse, and they didn't, you know what I'm saying? They absolutely loved him. They cheered him on. They helped him every time, you know, so it was life-changing when we lost my parents. So I know he would enjoy this in our book together. Sorry. I am so sorry. I think I'm just tired today. I'll be fine. Hold on, let me get a sip. Okay, let's keep going. Thank you for indulging me there for a moment. And of course, you know my daddy's picture will be in here because I was a daddy's girl. This I put in here for my youngest. She still lives at home. I love and adore all my children. She just lives at home. The first two were closer in age, and they got lots of time. They were very, I would just say noisy. You know, they, they just made a lot of noise, and she's very shy and very quiet. And so I love that she'll just come and sit with me, and while I was working on these journals, and so that's why I wanted to remember her. And I've got some pictures of her when we're watching Christmas movies and of my husband. So I'm going to put that on the back of here. And just remember, she's 22. We don't know how many more Christmases she'll live at home. And I know that sounds weird to some people. They want their kids out at 18. We never did. We were just get your feet grounded. Get your education. Get as much as you can. We can't afford to put you in a dorm. But if you want to go and live in a dorm or get an apartment, which our oldest got an apartment in the city, that was their decision. And they had to get through like at least their first 2 years at home. and you go to community college. And then after that, and of course, every one of them had scholarships by the time they hit the 4-year university. And then grad student, the grad studies were, one of them was paid to go to school for her PhD. One he received all kinds of scholarships. And then our youngest has received all kinds of scholarships. So we just worked really hard to ground our kids. And because we are a very academic family, though I do not come across as academic at all. It's definitely from my husband. Um, it's a world that was. I remember my son-in-law saying, gosh, well, yeah, I'm not anywhere near as smart as like your family. And I was like, they were raised in an educational petri dish. This home was nothing but an academic lab. We literally had computer networks set up downstairs, and we had, we're all back before you had Wi-Fi and everything was linked together. And my husband would be given these old computers when he would, do upgrades for people. And he would never take money from certain people, and they would be like, then take my old computer, and he was like, I'm going to sit right here. We're going to wipe it clean then. He would say, no, 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 no. And then finally he would say, okay. And so he said, well, I'm not going to take it. I'm going to give it to my kids to use for their schooling. And they loved that. And so anyways, but we had thousands, I'm not kidding, thousands of books. My mother was an English major. My husband's father was a librarian. And we have one son who was an English major, history major, and a daughter-in-law who was English major. I mean, it's just kind of what we've been. My youngest loves to write. She does all kinds of writing things. So this was one of those educational places that even though there were lots of learning disabilities, they all came through by the grace of God with a level of academic knowledge and transferable knowledge so you can get a job, later, that's all that matters, is that can your children function in society, and that's all that matters. And then of course their heart with the Lord, and that was more important to me than anything. And that didn't always set well with one of my kiddos, but it was the most important thing to me. So anyways, but okay, so this one's a little interactive, not a lot, it has a little fold out. This is an envelope that I made. I just attached it back here and then covered it. So, and that's what you do. And a lot of these have layers and layers of cover, and that's okay. And I made that envelope first. I wanted to make sure I had that in here. And then I made a little tuck. Again, those are just from that Cartabella, and I just took 3 and 3, and I would just put it on the biggest, then the middle, then the smallest. And you just take your time and build it. So you built a little tag. And then, and yes, I've got the tag punch. I've got all that. I had it with me. I didn't use it once. I just love using stickers and things that aren't supposed to be used for that. That's what I do with them. So this was a scrap. This is just something on a sticker sheet. That was a scrap. And this was a scrap. And isn't that a darling little tag? And this is one sticker with another sticker that I trimmed out a little bit tighter because I didn't like the white showing through. A lot of times I don't care, but just because I was layering it, I did not want it to be white as I layered. So, and those are just the Christmas bells. And I love that. And that will be a place to journal, put a picture, put a picture, journal, however we want to do it. And then, which my husband will do none of this. I will do it all. He may tell me what he wants, but I will make him write something to put into it, but he doesn't like to do all that. He is a wonderful story keeper, but he always has great ideas like we all do of I'm going to do it, and I'm going to journal it, and I'm going to save it, and pass it on. Yeah. But anyways, and he does have some private journals, but he literally has the same journal that he's had for probably our whole marriage. We've been married 34 years. Anyway, 30 something years. No, 34. We're going on 35. Yeah. So anyways, and when we dated too, so we've known each other almost 37 years. So yeah. Anyways, but so here's a place for just a picture, and though it is rounded, it doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me because that just feels junk journaling. And then these are just bits and pieces. There's some literal lace in there if you can see it, and then just a sticker on top. Seriously, junk journaling is what you like. If this is not your cup of tea and you want it to be more, clean, and then do it. But do what works for you. Do what will keep your families or your personal memories. That's what matters. Or if you want somebody else to do it, make one and give it to them. You know what I mean? But let me encourage you, do the pictures. Because if not, they'll just stick it in a closet. And then you'll just be like, all that work. I had a mother-in-law who stuck a lot of my stuff in the closet. It was very heartbreaking when I finally figured it out one day. Hold on one sec. I would even literally frame the pictures we would send her, the children. And I found out later that she threw away the frames. So know your audience. Know your audience, my friends. Okay, so this came in the Kitty Witty. This is just a Christmas card exchange. I love that. I just did it like a tip-in, put a little bit of the distress ink on it, put a little bit of the Cartabella, and that right there, I had something there, and I think it was this. Yeah, I was inking it, and I was like, ooh, because I didn't do any stencils on this one. And I may go back and add some stencils. I've got some Joy stencils and things like that. But anyways, but I just love boo-boos. I just think they just add character to it. Because like I can put a picture there and you've got this line and then that line. I like that. So anyways, more of the bits and pieces here. Sticker, it says I'll be home for Christmas, which we're all staying home, hopefully. And then vintage. And this is a boy, a little girl, and another girl. And of course, those are my reminiscent of my children. Now, I know some of you know that we have 2 girls in heaven. And if you ever watch the things I make when I have my family, there's always 2 little girls. Yeah. My daughter, when we moved into this house, there was a huge wall painting of 2 little girls picking wildflowers by a stream. And it broke my heart to see it at first because one daughter, we attribute pink roses and one yellow roses. And though they weren't roses, they were pink and yellow. They were all different kind of color wildflowers. And it was really hard for me to look at that for a while because one of them we lost after we moved into this house. And so we took it down, and my oldest daughter asked for it for her home. And we said, of course. So anyways, this is the back half of that envelope. And I just added 2 pieces of leftover, paper, put my 2 little boots with some bits and pieces of, whatever that looks like it's this, the column paper, and I just made a tag. Isn't that the cutest? Oops. See, now look, this is where if you don't go back in and glue that, and I will, it will just peel up. Washi is great for reinforcing, when you want to make a tip-in or you're making a flap, but you must glue it. And I did not have the glue stick. Usually I just use a glue stick and use a glue book. I didn't have it with me, and glue stick gets so nasty that I'd rather have a fine tip. So I will go back and fine tip that, and that's why that is so wonderful. It will totally slip right up in there. No muss, no fuss, and I'll just wipe it down and it'll be good to go. Here's the other half of that receipt. Target, Cartabella stickers. And again, this one's a little bit more substantial, but then I also put more back here. So room for pictures. Once I put pictures, it's really going to reinforce this. The same thing here. I will put pictures here, and I will be putting, all of these will have pictures or journaling on them. Last, outer cover. So here's the back. I made this, I covered it, and then I made this, and this is just sewing pattern paper, and I love this. For some reason, this one just floated my boat. It really did. I even had to cut it down, but I loved it. Added one of those little gold stickers, the little circle stickers. There is that Hobby Lobby. This was off of, this may have come from Kitty Witty, or it may have been Echo Park. I'm not sure. But, I just keep scraps, and so then I grab them. And then here's scraps, one of the stickers, and then here's that. So I've got that. I can write about what joy was my word this last year, so I might write about why that ended up being such a good word in such a rough year. And then this was a cluster I made, and at the last minute, I added this, and then I just put washi all across the back. At first, I didn't put it on there, and I'm going to put a picture back here, and that will reinforce this because this is that not quite as thick cardstock. I'm going to put a picture here and a picture there, and I just feel like that will be really good, and it fits in there nicely, and it sticks up, and you can see it, and the reason I wanted to cover the back was this. I didn't want it to look that shabby. And this is the red truck again for my husband and I. It means a lot, so I had saved that specifically. And then, of course, here's just a doily and other bits and pieces. So that's it for my first of the 3. Come on back. I'll be sharing more that I have made in junk journal style for Christmas gifts. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed these. I'm so sorry I had to break this up, and I think this is going to be in 3 parts because my phone will naturally stop and restart without me knowing. So it'll probably be a 3-part, but that's 3 journals and a little bit of chatter. So there you go. All right. Watch it on double speed or speed it up. Go to at least 1.5. I'm slow, guys. Speed me up, okay? All right, guys. I hope you liked this. If you did, please go back to all of the videos and give a thumbs up for each one. Leave a comment. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. We're going to be doing more and more of these, and they're going to be, you know, thicker, more traditional type mini albums that will be built out. There's gonna be all kinds of things. So these were just little, and if you weren't here for that part, these were just little flyer notebooks that scrapbook.com sent out for their Christmas gift giving ideas. And so I just thought, how can I make something out of them? And I just decided I was going to do something for the kids for pictures. Oh, did I miss this part? Maybe I missed that part. I'm sorry. I guess I turned too much. Okay. Yeah, so there's picture, and then just plain manila paper, and then more of those stickers, the Texas Star, and then a doily. And you can see I sewed this one together. I completely took this booklet apart, stuffed it, and then sewed it back together. So, all right, guys, come on back. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I said, I'd really appreciate it. Please go back to the other videos, do the same. It really helps me in this channel. I mean, I can't tell you enough. I have to either go get a job or I get to keep doing this. So, and of course, we're still going to have Bible journaling. We're still going to have all that good stuff, hymnal journaling. We're going to have all of that. I have just been, since before Thanksgiving, things kind of went a little crazy via work, really via work. And then we had an issue within our family that has been ongoing, and it really kind of hit a really ugly point. So, yeah. But come on back. I'm going to show you some other things that I'm going to add to this. So long story short, we're going to have all the things we've always had from Thanksgiving on. Has been a little different. Thank you guys for your patience. I didn't even get up as many of my DEK videos that I usually like to do of planning. So, plan with me. So hang with me. You always will see those unboxings and those traditional planner planning. I did do a little bit of a junk journal type planning. It was fun. I will probably do more of that because I really liked it. But anyway, so, okay, friends, come on back. I pray your day's blessed, creative, and lovely again, third time. And love you guys. Y'all be safe. And if you don't hear from me again, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Okay? I know you guys are going to get busy like we have. So love you guys. And thanks for being so supportive of this channel. I could never do this without y'all. Never in a million years. You are this channel. I just get to be here. Okay, friends. Love you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.